Beloved people of God, good morning. Welcome to our midweek devotional from Parkwood Presbyterian Church. Today, and for the next few weeks, we are going to take a look at some of the less heard Bible stories. Some of these will sound familiar, but maybe you haven't heard the story in its entirety. A lot of times, because Bible stories can be really long and really complex, we tend to take them in chunks, and pieces of those stories get lost. So, today we're going to take a look at 2 Kings chapter 6. To give you a little bit of background, the kingdom of Israel in the north is at war with the kingdom of Aram, which is one of its neighbors. And the king of Aram keeps setting up camps in order to attack the Israelites. Except those camps keep getting found out before they can fully accomplish their purpose. And so they have to pack up and move and start over. The king of Aram gets really, really frustrated and starts to think that there is a mole in his army feeding information to the Israelites. And it turns out that it's not a mole at all. It's the prophet Elisha, who is feeding information that he gets through these divine messages to the king of Israel to warn him about what's coming. This is what happens when the king of Aram finds out that Elisha is the one ruining his plans. The king of Aram said, "Go and find where Elisha is. I will send and seize him." He was told he is in Dothan. So he sent horses and chariots there and a great army. They came by night and surrounded the city. When an attendant of the man of God rose early in the morning and went out, an army with horses and chariots was all around the city. His servant said, "Alas, master, what shall we do?" He replied, "Do not be afraid, for there are more with us than there are with them." Then Elisha prayed, "O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." So the Lord opened the eyes of the servant, and he saw the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Now this tends to be where we stop the story. And it becomes this message of divine protection, that God is going to fight on your behalf. But listen very carefully to what comes next. When the Arameans came down against him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, "Strike this people, please, with blindness." So he struck them with blindness, as Elisha had asked. Elisha said to them, "This is not the way, and this is not the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." And he led them to Samaria. As soon as they entered Samaria, Elisha said, "O Lord, open the eyes of these men so that they may see." The Lord opened their eyes, and they saw that they were inside Samaria. When the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, "Father, shall I kill them? Shall I kill them?" He answered, "No. Did you capture with your sword and your bow those whom you want to kill? Set food and water before them, so that they may eat and drink, and let them go to their master." So he prepared for them a great feast. After they ate and drank, he sent them on their way, and they went to their master. And the Arameans no longer came raiding into the land of Israel. This is a powerful message about what it means to love your enemies. Not just in the sense that you don't kill them, which is kind of the bare minimum, but this sense that Elisha had a divine army at his command, horses and chariots of fire. And instead, he took this great army, asked God to strike them with blindness, and then led them into the Israelite capital of Samaria. And then, when that could have ended in a bloodbath, he tells the king of Israel, "No, you do not get to kill these people. This is not your victory. This is God's." And so he says, "Feed them, give them water, and send them home. And that is exactly what happens. And it so happens that Aram decided that raiding Israel was no longer worth it. But there were a million ways in which this could have ended in death and bloodshed, and no one at that point would have batted an eye, because these two kingdoms were at war. But Elisha, the man of God, found another way. And that is our call. That is who we are called to be as we follow Jesus. Go and do likewise. Amen.